Do you have to be rich to have multiple wives? Before I jump into it, if it's your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome and introduce myself. My name is Mahar Rakah. On my channel, I predominantly talk about polygyny, polygyny, entrepreneurship, and self-development. So if you're interested in those things, consider subscribing. All right, enough of that. No. Hell no. You ain't gotta be rich. As much as these women on social media try and make it seem, don't get caught up in all of that. If you get caught up into it, you're gonna have to be rich. So what am I standing on to speak on this? Is literally my experience and my close friends and distant friends in the United States, and even some that's abroad living in different countries who practice polygyny. So me, myself, I have been practicing polygyny for over 5 years. And here recently, I've been speaking more about it because I know that it was hard for me. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble if I had a mentor who could just guide me through it. But I was tangoing out there, you feel me? I was tangoing, trying to figure it out. So let me say this, bro. When it comes to being a good husband, if your goal is to be a husband and have multiple wives and have a strong family, there is a lot of different things that you can do to bring value to the table. So many things. So if you're limiting yourself to just being rich, and that's how you're trying to qualify yourself and get women to accept you for, you know, who you are, for lack of better terms, for how you was designed and made up as a man to desire multiple women, it's really in your biology, it's in your DNA, it's anatomy for you to desire multiple women. But if you're trying to qualify yourself by being rich, I mean, that's what you're gonna try and do. You're gonna try and go out there and get as much money as is possible. Excuse me, y'all. I'm overcoming stuff right now. Like, I'm a little under the weather. Seasons is changing, and it's just throwing, I don't know why I got a lot of mucus and stuff like that. And like a sore throat. But I just need to talk about this right now. So I'm gonna do it. Let me take a little sip of this real quick. All right. That should give me about another 50 words, 100 words. So don't try and qualify yourself with money. A lot of women are gonna try and qualify you this way, but don't pay them no never mind. Don't pay them no never mind. Those ain't the type of women. If you really want a strong household, you want to be respected as a husband, and you want your wives to bring value into the household. You want them to bring value to the table. Don't go after no woman who's qualifying you based off of being rich. You set yourself up for destruction. You feel me? Catastrophic destruction. A lot of turmoil and heartache. Don't do it. So this is what you do. If you want to be a husband, I keep saying these terms because the sleep around culture and just having 2 girlfriends and y'all just having threesomes, I'm not advocating for this. I'm not advocating for that kind of lifestyle and that kind of structure in your relationships. I'm advocating for men to become strong husbands, and I'm advocating for the women to be very strong and helpful wives. You understand? So that's why I'm using these terms. And nor am I advocating for niggas to go out here and not try and become financially stable or financially self-sufficient or financially literate. That's the word. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. I'm not advocating for you not to be financially literate. I want you to be a strong man, standing on business, and you actually have value, and other women see the value, and they be like, you know, I want to follow him. I want to trust him. You know, he's a good leader. I respect him, his guidance, the calls that he make, the plans that he make, the ideas that he have. I'm going to get behind those because I see the kind of man he is. And you know what? He's so good. He's so awesome. He's so great. He's so smart. He's so emotionally intelligent. He's so wise. He's so knowledgeable. He's so strong. You hear me? All of these things and more. He is qualified to lead in multiple women. That's what I'm trying to get you to. That's what I'm trying to get you to. The best way to do it, in my opinion, is just like this. That's the best way. If you go out on a limb and you just somehow inherited a lot of money because your family is wealthy, or you didn't wax wealthy, putting in that work, and you rich, and you got substance, you got assets, you got all these resources, you got money, you got liquid cash, you got houses, real estate. If you got all of that, then you can go about this a different way. I wouldn't advise it, but you got money. A lot of more women are going to be attracted to you and being attached to you. But you got to be careful. Y'all know about the term gold diggers. Gold diggers. I'm going to use the hard ER. Gold digger. Got to watch out for them. A lot of these women, whenever you got money, your dating market value going to shoot up when you got money. But a lot of times it attracts the wrong kind of women. It attracts women who are selfish and greedy. They thinking about themselves. Let me say a little bit more about this before I move forward. They are thinking about themselves. Why? Because when it comes to being married to you, they're thinking about only what they can gain. The resources, the money, the assets that you have. All they're thinking about is gaining that and taking that without any hard work. Everything you done built up, she gets access to it now. I love this. If I was a woman, I would love this game. This is hitting. This is busting. But here's where the whole purpose of this video comes in. Do you have to be rich to afford multiple wives or even get a chance or a crack at it? No. But if you're going after women with this selfish mindset, yes. Because all of the women with a selfish mindset, they're going to think about your resources and your money that they get access to. This woman who's selfish, she's thinking about how much of your money she's going to be spending. How much it's going to cost you to take care of her. That's what she's thinking about. And the only way possible for this to work, because this woman she expensive. She like red bottoms and designer shit and new cars and houses and big houses and just luxury vacations and shit like that. So the only way possible this makes sense in these women's head is if this man is rich. That's the only way I'm gonna allow it. I say that she's selfish and she has a selfish mentality going into this marriage because she's not considering the value that she's supposed to bring to the table too. You ask a woman what she brings to the table, what she would bring to the table if her man, she expects her man to be rich. What is she going to bring to the table to this rich man? Or what is she going to bring to this rich man's table? She don't fucking know, bro. She don't know. She don't know. You ask her, she gonna say my presence. She gonna say, I'm funny. I'll cook. I'll clean. If I'm rich, I can hire a motherfucker to be funny. I'm just speaking frankly right now. I know this is supposed to be a wholesome channel. I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on it. I can hire somebody to cook and I can hire somebody to clean if I'm rich. So why do I really need you? Women not really thinking, they're not going into a marriage providing like some real deal value. Most of the time they not thinking about that. They really only thinking about the value you're going to bring them. That's why I say they selfish. And a lot of these women who say the only way they man can have two wives is if he rich, because they know how much how much money they gonna be siphoning from this man? How many resources? It's gonna be expensive. So this only works if you rich, bro. So let me say this. This is why you don't qualify yourself with money. If I was rich and I was trying to get multiple wives and I was serious about the foundation I was building on, I really wanted a strong family, a strong household that even if I lost my money, I would still have a woman or multiple women who go stick beside me. I'm not gonna come in here talking about I got money and trying to win her over with my money and with my gifts and luxury vacations and shit like that, bro. That's for the birds. You hear me? That's for the birds. Don't do that. I think that for the better quality of women, you want to literally qualify yourself with all of the other qualities. Don't get me wrong, being financially stable and literate, that's on the table. That's good. Bring that to the table. A woman, it's still good to bring financial literacy to the table. Don't be broke. You know what I'm saying? She needs to see that you can take care of her if push come to shove. If that's how you want to run it, you want to stay at home wife, she needs to see that you can take care of her, see that you're taking care of yourself, everything taken care of. So financial literacy is a big thing, but being rich, don't do that. Don't try and qualify yourself that way. There's so many different ways, so many different attributes and values you can bring and set on this table. I mean, patience. Let's talk about that one. Women are a handful. They can have a lot of problems. No cap. Everybody can. Men, they can have a lot of problems. They can be crazy too. So this is across the board. Some of these things is just universal laws, if you will, that will bring you more value. Being patient. Women, they be having a lot of emotions, bro. Sometimes it take them longer to learn some of these concepts. You need to be patient. That's attractive to the right group of women are gonna find this extremely attractive. No cap. Especially the women who are intentionally like, okay, I want to settle down. I want a husband. I want him to be a good leader, and I want him to be balanced. Let me talk about balance. So you want to meet your patience. It needs to be balanced with, what's the word for, like you kind of got some fire underneath you. You know what I'm saying? Some urgency. Patience, you should balance your patience out with urgency. You need to be balanced. Women want to see you be kind, especially to other people and to them, obviously. They want to see you be gentle, soft, if you will, to some degree. You might want to measure that degree appropriately because it can be a turn off. But let's just say loosely, she want to see you be gentle, kind, affectionate. You got a soft side. I'm not saying you just in this bitch crying to her and shit, but you can treat her like, be a little delicate. But also on the other side, you got some strength. You got a little macho-ness. You got some firmness. You got some structure, some order. You know what I'm saying? And you standing on business 10, with the 10 toes down all the way to the ground like you weigh 1,000 pounds. And they like that balance. They like that. Some girls like being grabbed up. I don't know why, but they do. I'm not advocating for you to do that, but some women, they want to see you be kind of strong, macho in the gym, lifting weights, sweaty, you know what I'm saying? But you still know how to turn it off a little bit when it's time, and you know how you're not always up at 10 raising your voice, and you got your daddy voice on and all of that. But you kind of talk to her like, babe, do this, etc., etc. Hey, I would like it. I would really communication. This is an extremely important skill that you need to master if you want to be qualified to having one wife, 2 wife, 3 wife, 4 wife, 5 wife. Communication. You need to be fluent in communication. Men communication, you might be good at talking to men. Talking to women is like a different ball game, bro. If you ain't took time, so one, let's just say communication. You need to be able to express ideas in an articulate manner consistently. That needs to just be your nature. You just a good communicator. You understand what I'm saying? Next, let me highlight this. Talking to women, communicating to women, it's like a different arena. If you ain't been through this learning curve, I'm still going through it. It is like a whole different thing, bro. There's a whole different world out here. Women, they hear stuff differently because of all of these emotions. If my superior, my boss, my like I'm in an organization and there's people who hold more rank, they above me. If they say in a stern voice, hey, don't do that, I'm not gonna get offended. I'm gonna be like, okay. I might even say yes, sir. Because it's order, it's structure, what it is, logical. There's some logic to it. If you try and do that with a woman, the emotions might be a barrier. You know what I'm saying? It might not get through to her. It might not be received very well. So you might need to teach her and develop her on how to like take commands or strictness or firmness. Hey, and a lot of times niggas is effeminate. Excuse me, this is a wholesome channel, y'all. A lot of times men are effeminate, especially in America. Men can be extremely effeminate. Like, they wasn't raised by their dads. So they don't know how to be firm and to balance it out. They be too macho for their own good. They trying to be all strong and sturdy 24/7. Like, bro, it's unnecessary. Like, you don't got to be a lion in your own household to get the point across. Like, you don't got to yell every time something go wrong, like, or she do something that ain't to the degree you want it. Like, oftentimes you want to be calm. You want to be calmer in them situations. If you ain't learned that, you need to learn it now. Especially if you desire multiple wives, because women, everybody make mistakes. And you're going to be teaching this woman how to love you, how to help you, how to serve you, how to help the family. So it's like you're in this leadership role. You don't want to just be lashing out and being aggressive and yelling all the time. Like, bro, that's going to give you negative brownie points inside the household. You know what I'm saying? You want your wives to be on point, but you don't want them feeling like they can't spill a cup of water. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have balance out here, bro. Balance. So communicating with women, that's a whole skill in its own. Trust me. Like, if you ain't studied women and just took time to really just talk to women and understand things from their perspective and what it's like submitting to a man, things that scare them, things that make them feel insecure with a man, like, do your homework, do your due diligence, because this is a profession. You see what I'm saying? Being a husband is a profession. This is a career. Lock in, you hear me? I wish I could, I want to zoom in and get you just see my eyeballs, you feel me? This is a career. Lock in. So if you want more than one woman, you should know your way around a woman and her brain and how they generally think, especially here in America. You gotta lock in, do your research, and really just take this shit serious, bro. But if you building yourself up with all of these different values outside of being rich, you're gonna attract a different demographic or group of women who value it, period. That's what you need to do. But guess what? It never happens. It's never going to happen if you don't start working on yourself and taking that shit serious now. You're never going to attract these kind of women. You're never going to get the opportunity because you ain't never built yourself up. You ain't never built yourself up. And all of them things you know about yourself that you need to work on, why is they still there? Why are they still there? Why are you still abusing substances? You can't control alcohol. You can't control yourself from abusing and over drinking alcohol. You got to drink every day, smoking every day. Cigarettes and Black and Milds and weed. And, bro, come on now. You don't stand a chance if you can't discipline yourself and, take a hold of yourself. Get a grip on it, bro. Get a grip on it. You can't stop yourself from watching porn. Corn? You a cornball. You got to get a grip on it. You have to. You can't get a grip on your emotions and your anger or depression or some shit that happened in your childhood. You're an adult now, and you're finna be the leader of a woman and a family or multiple women. That's what the topic is, right? You need to get a grip on it. You need to be qualified to literally lead multiple women. That's what it boils down to. Are you qualified? And the qualifiers is not just being rich. There's so many different things that money can't fix, that money cannot buy, that money cannot solve. Money can't teach you how to be. Money is not going to make you a good leader overnight. It's not. It's not. All of them undesirable traits and characteristics that you have, solve them now. I can see it afar off. I experienced it. I seen it first, second, and third hand. If you go to a woman, you've been with a woman, and you say, babe, y'all love each other, she know what's up, and you bring the idea of polygyny and having bringing another wife or bringing another woman into this household. The first thing she thinking about is how this shit can go wrong. The first thing she thinking about is where you be going wrong. The first thing she thinking about is all these clumsy mistakes that you be making. First thing she thinking about is them addictions and how you're not qualified. That's the very first thing she thinking about. She's trying to, because one, most women in America are not just like, you know what? I always wanted a sister wife, and yes, babe, let's do it. This is a great idea. I know you're strong enough. I know you can do it. Oh my gosh, yes. They're not doing that, bro. They're gonna think about where you mess up, how often you mess up, what you be messing up on, how you're not qualified. They're gonna have rebuttals. Well, you don't even make enough money, and we're in debt. We need to get out of debt first, and like it's just too soon. And they're gonna have they're gonna have every excuse out there. So what you need to do, stand on so much business to where she can't even, that don't even exist no more. We're in debt, and I don't know if she has an excuse. You can't afford for her excuse to be because of you not being qualified. It's hard enough as it is already, because guess what? You could be the greatest nigga out here. You could easily lead 5 women. She's still gonna make excuses because she don't want to share you, because she want all your time. You remember, she want to be number one. She want to be your priority. She want to be the one and only. That's what we was taught. She gonna be thinking about this other woman and that insecurity that's gonna start spinning and brewing up inside her spirit, inside her mind, and the jealousy and fear and doubt and anxiety. All of this crazy shit for to start pulling up. When it's not that deep. It shouldn't be that deep unless you really gonna leave your wife for this other one. But it don't make sense to leave your wife for this other one when you got 2 of them. Just hold it down. It's chill. It's cool. Everything cool if everything cool. You hear me? So this is why it's so important to build yourself up and to really be qualified. This is the number one thing. This is the biggest thing. The biggest thing is to really develop yourself to where you're qualified to lead. I mean, there's so many different departments. I done named a few, but I'll rename them. I might even name a few more on accident. You need to not be controlled by any outside substance. Ever. I don't put whatever it is, put it down. You can't be controlled by that no more. Alcohol, marijuana, tobacco. I don't know what niggas be on, but get off of it. Period. Get off of it. I'm not saying you can't never have a drink, but you can't be controlled by that. I said corn. That's something niggas struggle with. You need to learn how to control your emotions. I'm gonna summarize a lot of these emotions and just categorize it as emotional intelligence. Sadness, depression, even your joy and happiness. You need to make logical and strong decisions no matter what emotion you're feeling. Why is that so important? Because your wife, 10 times out of 10, is gonna struggle emotionally. She's driven by emotions. So if you're not able to control your emotions, how are you going to be a leader in this department? How are you going to teach her in this department? You're not qualified, so you must qualify yourself. You cannot be holding on to trauma from a childhood and your parents and hating your mom or your dad because he's not there. Like, bro, you got to grow up. It is what it is. I'm sorry to say it. You got to find a different role model. It is what it is. I'm being as straightforward as possible. You got to grow up, bro. That's period what it is. All of these clumsy and lackadaisical mistakes, you got to dead it. You got to limit it. You need to bring that down to 1%, 0%. You need to just stop making all of these goofy mistakes because your wife looking at you and yeah, she might not say something immediately. You might be in a crazy relationship. You might be cooked right now, totally chopped. If you totally chop right now, you need a pattern of good works following you, a history of being on top of it, where you got a respectable work history, a trail of good works, just a pattern. Where you got a pattern of good works following you to where she can respect it and get behind it. Because if not, it ain't gonna go. She ain't listening. Every time you make a mistake, she looking at you in her brain. She losing respect for you. Out the side of the side of her head, this whole side right here by the temple. She like, man, this nigga is bunk. This nigga suck. I gotta find me a better nigga. This nigga done gambled all the money. You gotta stop doing that shit, bro. If you got a gambling addiction, you gotta get rid of that, bro. There's no chance that two women are gonna submit themselves to you and follow you and allow you to guide them if you just keep tricking off the money by gambling. Like, what do we say? You get paid and you at the casino and you trying to flip it and you lose almost everything. It ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. You need to be on top of it in every department. You need to be balanced. You need to be, you don't want to be overbearing. You don't want to be too soft. You don't want to be too firm. You don't want to be too gentle. You don't want to be too harsh. You don't want to be too much of nothing. You need to be balanced. She needs to see that, damn, this nigga really put together. He's strong. Like, you should be able to ask your wife, is it anything, like, and you need to be able to bring this conversation up in the most sincere way where she literally feel like she can open up and tell you the real shit about you. I mean, she can literally show you that your shit stink and you take it and not flash out, get upset, get angry. What I'm trying to say is, you need to be able to ask her, hey, babe, you gotta say, let's talk real quick. And you want the tone to be a lot different than this. You want it to be calm. You want it to be, the honest. You damn near want that motherfucker to be like a candle is lit in there, and just y'all have this kind of communication that's open, this doorway that's open, where you can say, babe, is there anything that you can, is there any flaws that you see in me? As a man, I'm allowing you to point out anything that you see in me that could be worked on. Is there anything that you can see in me that could be better? Anything. It don't have to be big. It can be small. It don't have to be small. It can be big. I want your honest perspective and understanding of who I am. You see me changing. You see me growing. And what I really want to do is I want to grow even. I don't want to just be a good nigga no more. I'm trying to be a great nigga. I'm trying to be a fantastic. It's a wholesome channel, ain't it? I want to be a fantastic husband. See what I'm saying? You needed to get to the point where you can bring that kind of energy to her. She gives you an authentic answer and she say, to be honest, I don't got nothing. You already fantastic. You do everything. I mean, you wonderful. You need to be that kind of brother. You see what I'm saying? I can ask my wives. I asked my wives that plenty of times. And my wives try to make complaints and all of this shit, but when we get back to it and I really ask her, and when they in their emotions, they'll try and flip some shit that ain't really real. That's what I'm trying to say. She'll try and, I need you to be more, or I try to, you didn't even hug me today, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about petty shit aside. Because when I really ask them this, they like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't got nothing. I don't got anything I could ask. Like right now, there's nothing I can pinpoint. There's nothing you do that I don't like. There's nothing. Cold piece of work. I check up on my wives regularly on this because I don't want to just settle for being a good nigga. I want to be a great nigga. I mean, a wholesome channel. We back to it. I want to be a fantastic husband. Where she can't blame me for that. I'm just doing a great job leading, guiding, protecting, making her feel secure, taken care of. And that's really that's really why I think I found success and why my wives willingly submit to me and listen to me and obey me in everything. Anything. I mean, I don't have a problem with asking my wives for anything. If I tell my wives, look, I know a lot of women struggle with giving money to their man. I don't struggle with that, bro. Like, if you struggle with your wife giving you money, or my wife, first off, my wives work for me now, so it's different. But if the money that they was making from my business, our business, was needed so we could go somewhere else, wouldn't be a problem. Hey, we need this for such, such, and such. They'll willingly, happily give it to me. They offer it to me regardless. I give them money to go spend on strictly themselves and the kids. They still trying to buy me stuff. Trying to buy me a new stuff for my PC. My game is set up. I want to buy some headphones. My headphones is janky. I'm still thugging though. You hear me? Mouse and keyboards and mouse. You know what I'm saying? Just little. They always want to buy me some clothes and like spend your money on you. I'm good. This is literally for you to go blow. But I'm saying this because you need to be that type of nigga where your wife wants to submit to you. She wants to obey you. She wants to lead you. You just so qualified, bro. You just cut differently, right? So I'm gonna make this last point. What I see in myself, the common denominator that I see in myself and with all of the other friends I have in America and outside America that practice polygyny, that I personally know and talk to on a frequent basis. They all have these same characteristics, yeah, that I'm naming off. They really well balanced. They put together. They are in control of themselves. They got a good structure in their household. Like, this is something that a lot of people overlook, just how you structure in the household. A lot of women is leading their household and, what she say go, or it's 50-50 and it's a partnership and y'all kind of seeing eye to eye. Like, none of these men run their household like this. They are the leader. Their wives follow them. This basic structure of the household, let me get back to my main point, y'all. Y'all know I get I get sidetracked. I be doing contracts. This is contract work, so I'm losing it, y'all. All right, this is my main point. Between myself and my friends who practice polygyny, the common denominator, what I see is spirituality. They have a strong spiritual presence on them, and it manifests throughout the household. And a lot of ours is like the same. They all believe in the Bible wholeheartedly, and the principles, the laws, the commandments of God, the structure and the wisdom, the order that God set up, they all use that structure. And it works. I think ultimately that's what created the atmosphere and enabled them to be, qualified leaders. Of course, on my channel, I try not to get my religious beliefs too intertwined, but I do speak on it. Y'all know I'm a Bible enthusiast and what it is. It ain't no secret, but I'm not just trying to project that all on y'all. But I do want to show you what I see working and what I don't see working. So to be fair, these men are spiritual, and what they hold themselves to is like a structure that God set up and designed. The laws that God set up and designed. The wisdom that you get from the Bible. It makes you a better person, bro. That's basically what it do. It make you a better person. You're more qualified. You're more well-rounded. You're more understanding. You're more considerate. You're just more tapped in with just how this works, how people work, how you yourself was. Why? You had all of these things going on internally. When you start studying the Bible, not just reading it, studying the Bible, all of them things that you had going on inside of you, you got to fix it. So one, you got to identify it, and then you go inside and search yourself out, and you kind of look deep inside yourself and you start fixing it one by one. It makes you a better person. But guess what? Now that you got experience, you're literally qualified to help other people. You're qualified to help your wife and or wives. You're qualified to teach your children about it because you did it already. You experienced. And these are the different markers or attributes that I think make you qualified. And that's why I say you don't have to be rich. There's women who will follow you, women that will entrust their lives to you, submit to you, follow you, love you, nurture, and just love all on you, bro. But you gotta be valuable. You gotta have value. And this is the most realest way I can get this to y'all right now. In September 2025. This is literally what I experienced. But this is what I perceive. This is what I see. They all of these different men that I know, they grew up inner city kids. So slums, ghettos, bad neighborhoods, to say the least, public schools. But all of these men that I know, they didn't come from rich, wealthy households. Nothing like that. But what really happened was they really had a change, a big change, and it was a dramatic change where they really started working on they had a big season in their life where it was just self-development, and they increased their value as a man and as a husband and as a human shit. And a lot of what sparked it was the spirituality, was the Bible. This is what all of my friends, you understand, is the Bible. And I'm not trying to knock anybody else's religion or their spirituality. It's not really what I'm saying. That's just what worked for us. And I'll even go a step further to meet some of y'all halfway. A lot of the things, let me say this. A lot of the characteristics and attributes that you get from the Bible, you can find them and extract them in a lot of different places. You can extract patience being the virtue, and you have to understand that and get in tune with that. You could have learned that from your damn grandmother, who always said patience is a virtue. You could have learned that from playing basketball in middle school or something, or, you know what I'm saying? You could learn it anywhere. You could have learned patience by just being in traffic in damn California. You could learn these different characteristics in different places. But the Bible is like a one-stop shop. So some of these other spiritualities, some of the concepts, you're going to see parallels. You're going to see they have a lot of things and similar about like what makes what men and women should have. A lot of these spiritualities that teach women to be like submissive to their husband, you know, which is another pro, because it's one thing to tell your wife, hey, man, you gotta trust me. You gotta listen to me. I know it feel weird obeying me. I know it feel weird relinquishing some of that power, but that's what's gonna work best for our family, is if you let me take the wheel. That might be hard to if you just saying it might be hard to get through to her. It might not have enough power. But if you got something bigger than you, like the God that you serve, supporting you and backing you up and holding her accountable and holding you accountable, you know, it's just more powerful, bro. That's why I say that spirituality is such a big part of why this thing is able to work, you know. So even men that I don't know personally, and I see them on the internet, YouTube, social media, talking about polygyny, you know, a lot of them are extremely spiritual, and I can sense it and pick it up through the camera or through the phone. You see what I'm saying? And if they not spiritual, a lot of their beliefs is backed by something that's way greater than them. They have a vision or a goal that's bigger than him, and women can get behind that. And there's a lot of power into that. And he might not be rich, but he's still moving with a lot of force and power and value. So don't let people tell you that you gotta be rich. I'm a walking testimony that you don't have to be rich. My friends and the elders that I had the pleasure of learning from, they've been doing polygyny longer than me. All right, I've been practicing polygyny for over 5 years, and I would say that I have two submissive wives who love me. They love being my wives. I love leading and caring for them and taking a control of the wheel and driving that thing. You know what I'm saying? I love providing for them. I would do anything for them within reason. Let me say that. I'm not finna bug out and do nothing crazy. But these men, they've been practicing polygyny for a long time, and none of them are rich. Some of these men got 5, 6, 7 wives that I'm talking about, that I know personally, that I learned from. So if they can do it and I can do it, it is not a requirement for you to be rich. So don't let women, don't get in the mindset to where you're trying to qualify yourself by being rich. That's my message, man. There's other things that you can do out here to bring value to the table in a polygynous marriage other than riches. So with that being said, man, I hope that this video, this thing is 40 minutes. I hope that it provided some true value. I hope that you was able to understand the things that I was trying to say today. And you already know, man, if it did provide you with value, consider liking and subbing and commenting to the channel, because that's the best way to help the channel grow, man. It'll mean so much to me. And I'm always open to you hitting me up and reaching out to me and us building one-on-one so I can really help even more, provide even more value in the department of entrepreneurship, polygyny, and self-development. So I'm not like a guru who got everything mastered, but that's what I've been doing for the past few years. So that's just where I'm at. That's where my mind is. That's where I'm locked in at. So, hey, man, until next time, let me hit my little button. Until next time, peace, man.